Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to brand new potential series. So, I have been struggling to keep playing the Endzone World After, or what's the name of the game, and I have been in my free time trying to keep progressing through the game, but it's kind of really difficult to do so. And as part of also the comparison series, eventually I would like to take a look at even these two titles theoretically, maybe not, who knows. I kind of have a bunch of stuff already in the pipeline, so I'm gonna see what I get to as fast as I can. I will try to cram in as much original content as I can during the month of January as possible, because on February I'm gonna start a brand new job and it's gonna be a total nightmare when it comes to upload and everything. I'm gonna try to make sure that the channel has plenty of content and we can have plenty of fun here on the channel, but in the meantime we're gonna take a look and see what theoretically can happen here. So, I have actually tried to play the game before, and on my third or fourth attempt, I actually managed to get somewhat far. I mean, not that many people died. This game is more towards Fallout, because there are these mutated creatures and all sorts of weird and funky stuff in comparison to the World After or World Apart, Aftermath, or whatever are these names. It's horrible. I'm actually struggling to remember the name of these games, but anyhow, this is more of a fantasy sort of thing, because you can come across all sorts of weird stuff. So we're gonna try to set up a brand new game, and we're gonna see if even this time I'm gonna kill everyone, or maybe if I'm gonna be able to set up at least the base camp, and we're gonna see how much luck we are gonna have with this. Now, I still don't understand certain in-game mechanics like research and stuff like that, so if you're gonna be able to help me with that, I will be just super ecstatic. So we're gonna go and set up a new game, and surprisingly enough, the difficulty is not gonna be like super easy. I do like a challenge, of course, so we're not gonna make it totally easy. When I want to have a super easy experience, I just play Anno 1404 or one of the other ones, and I turn off all the AI and I just build and build and build, but I didn't really have time to do any of that lately. I have been crazy busy as of late, quitting one job, getting another job, and doing all sorts of stuff, so it's been hectic. Plus we had the Christmas holidays and all sorts of other funky stuff, so let's see if we can set up a new colony and see how much we can actually do. So Prologue. Modern civilization is gone. It fell apart in a time when rivaling superpowers fought over power and ideology. To focus on themselves, no one noticed what was coming until it was too late. Skies rained down fire as thousands of comets and massive objects pummeled the inner solar system. On Earth, cities were leveled and replaced by vast wastelands. As nations vanished, the remaining factions waged decade-long wars over scraps until there were no armies left to command. Now we are all that remains, looking for a new home, looking for a way to start over in this age we can all call Aftermath. So, I'm gonna still enable tutorial because I still don't have enough experience in this game. We're gonna have to go through challenges, catastrophes, environments, survivors, ideology, specialists, visuals, and summary in order to set up the difficulty for the game. So I'm gonna go with it's a tough road to walk, but never unfair, so we have a medium challenge that already puts us up to 35. Now catastrophes, I hate these things, so honestly I'm gonna go with actually the worst has passed, time to rebuild, so we're not gonna have that many of them. I don't like it when I play SimCity or something else and suddenly a freaking tsunami or tornado pops in, or Godzilla or God knows what else, and it starts destroying what took me hours to set up. And in these types of games, it literally can take hours and hours. So I do understand that we might have some RTS games currently on the channel, but I'm always looking for some variations of what we can do and what I can do, and maybe I can gather some footage this way as well. So yeah, we're gonna go with like the worst has passed, and we're gonna go with like a balance between fertile and barren land. We're gonna see how that works out. Now, survivors, I will go, it has been wise to choose who to trust, so I'm not really gonna go with like abundant starting resources. We're gonna go with like an average. And then we have ideology. So in the wasteland, there is no right or wrong. The only thing that matters is survival. So we have possibility to do, for example, focus on a tech tree regarding survival and efficiency skills. Then we have aim for progress and technology, so large scale production, which of course cannot be done without having access to survival and efficiency. And then we have taking care and protecting other people, so health and safety focus, so guards and medicine and other sorts of stuff. I have tried to go with the large scale production, didn't really manage to get that far. I think this can take couple of sessions before we can even start talking about like a larger production. So we're gonna go with the survival and efficiency. That's gonna help us out. And we have a couple of people who we are gonna be able to not only choose and send out to scavenge or protect, but who are also gonna be crucial when it comes to certain things. They can help us gather resources, they can do all sorts of things. We have classes such as fighters, we have scientists, we have scavengers, we have scouts, we have I think there's like a medic or something else maybe, but yeah, these are like the basic classes. I think I'm gonna go with Raj as a scavenger, and I'm gonna go here with Satoshi as our scientist. And so they have certain like stats. They have health, they have attack, they have scavenging capabilities, they have certain speed, research possibilities, they have recovery. So there's all sorts of cool stuff. So we're gonna go with these two fellas and we are gonna continue. Now, when it comes to setting up our flag, I'm actually kind of disappointed here by Paradox Studio, because they usually do quite a great job when it comes to the variations of what you can set up. Unfortunately here, if you want to go for something dramatic, like for example, I love this raptor's head. It looks awesome. I do know that there's another YouTuber who's called Raptor, and he has this awesome logo and like this weird sound which keeps starting at each and every goddamn episode of whatever he uploads. But I mean, it looks cool, but you cannot really mix and match this sort of stuff. So you can go with like green background or other backgrounds. So whatever works best with this golden background is the possibility for you to max it out. So it really does not offer that many variations. Like if I want to put, for example, this on the top of this or this just looks, I don't know, it looks like you have one color and then you have just this bare symbol. It could be much better. The variations, if you would be able to tweak it a bit more, I think it would look awesome. So here is something which I think Paradox missed out on. I don't really think I'm gonna go with the skull and bones, and the rats are just weird. So I'm gonna go with probably the bear. And I'm not really sure what is like a great contrast with it. This is just, I don't know, this looks kind of sad. I mean, you are losing the contrast. This is just a bad matchmaker, because it really doesn't make the color shine on the background, so it's like translucent. A really not good match. What would be a good match for this? Something like this. It's just sad if you mix up these sorts of things, you know, because it just looks like you don't have enough variations or capabilities. Like yellow with the gold, it just doesn't work. Maybe the red with the gold would work, but this could theoretically do this weird fishbone or sardine from a can. But yeah, if we would go with like the cobra and the purple background, this is just bad contrast. So yeah, I don't know what's with me and all the contrast. Maybe I should stop watching the Inked channel and all these weird tattoo TV shows, or Ink Master, or what's it called. I don't have a tattoo. I don't think I will ever have a tattoo because I cannot even commit to a wallpaper on my screen for more than like a couple of months. So a tattoo would probably not work for me. I don't know, I just like to change things up. Man, this is killing me. I cannot decide. This is bad. This is so bad. What would work with the red background? Red, no. Am I just gonna go with the damn skull and stuff? That would be just... Is that... Oh my god, what's the name of the vegetable? Brussels sprouts! Oh my god, these are Brussels sprouts! Why would Brussels sprouts survive an asteroids catastrophe? I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Brussels sprouts, but I only like them when they are like roasted. So they are not super soggy and have this weird snotty texture to them. I hate it when Brussels sprouts are in soup or are steamed or something. It just doesn't feel right in my mouth. And if you actually roast them or you pre-saute them in a pan and then you put them to be broiled in an oven, they actually have this decent crunch to them, so it's actually pretty nice. I really should shut the hell up and decide on what the hell is it that we're gonna do, because otherwise we're never gonna start. I'm just gonna go with probably this because yeah. What happens if we randomize? Maybe we're gonna come across something decent. Okay, that's just horrible. The contrast just does not seem to work well together, huh? Yeah, you see, this variation is absolutely bad. I feel like it's giving me the same options over and over. You know what, let's go with this. It's not the most creative way to use the bear. I do like the bear insignia, so we're gonna go with it. And now we're gonna select a colony name, so we're gonna go with Noobsville. Again. And colony motto. Subscribe, please. So we're gonna go with that. I'm quite sure that that's a little on the nose, but who knows. So let's see. We have yes to tutorial, medium challenges, occasional catastrophes, average temperature, humidity, blah blah blah, resources average, ideology survivalist, Noobsville, subscribe please. Let's set it up and let's see if I will actually manage to get something done this time, or if I'm gonna kill everyone and I'm gonna have to cut off the portion of me setting this up second time. I don't know. I mean, with the Aftermath series, I'm really unhappy that it never really worked out. But I'm gonna keep trying, and maybe one day I will be able to do it. Maybe one day.
The world is in ruins. Things once considered mundane are hard to find, and habitable land is no exception. A settler has finally found a spot for a new colony. With a place to call home, it is time for a new beginning. Welcome to the Aftermath, survivor.
So our objective is to build the campsite to mark the center of the new colony and to start uncovering the surrounding area. So we usually start off by some sort of gate. Now, I have tried this a couple of times and I have seen different points of entry. Like for example, right now we have these two cliffs in between which a road used to lead. I have even seen that there were like two bodies of water. So it seemed like a bit of a less defense, because honestly, the cliffs can work, especially if they're not scalable, but these ones on top actually can support structures if you would want to get an overlook over whatever the hell is happening over here. Now, if we scroll out too far, we actually have a view of the surrounding areas. So, currently we do control this place where we have Noobsville. There are some locations where we can send out eventually our chosen people who we selected. So that's why I went with one of them being Scavenger, because we can send them either to the farm or either to the camping site and see what we can uncover. When it comes to resources, we need to manage happiness, we need to manage population, food, water, eventually energy, wood, plastic, metal, concrete, parts, components, tools, clothes, weapons, medicine, firewood, science points, currency, and then there are others. So we have fiber, junk, electronics, fun box, rare metals, and other stuff. I have not even seen those yet. Mostly we will come across pollution, and pollution is actually shown in a form. I'm not sure if I will be able to uncover it as of yet. There's a whole lot of mess here. So usually when we establish the settlement, we need to go to the construction menu, and if we choose the campsite, we can build only within a certain range here. So that is limiting us. We don't have like an unlimited access to all this place at the start. We're gonna need to place the campsite somewhere and start building the colony from then that point forward. So I think I'm gonna go actually somewhere around here, and we can then theoretically build our housing on the unfertile land and try to use the small woods for food. We do have some body of water here. We're gonna have to make sure it's not poisoned or radiated or something like that. So there are some similarities to the Aftermath, and let's build it over here. We're gonna unpause this, and we're gonna be able to build a couple of structures. We can see that there are some wood piles, there is a plastic stockpile, so apparently the issue with us producing trash has never been resolved. And there are wild berries you can hunt and forage. And now, once the campsite is actually constructed, I have to stop zooming out, you can actually see all these weird pollution sites. You can see that there are deers that are roaming around. The green tiles usually represent the more fertile land. The barren ones are the sand or the pollution. If you build your buildings too close to the pollution points, it will damage them. And in order for us to gain access to like further space, like for example, if we want to get access to this weird river, we're gonna have to build like a scout tower and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to do a couple of things. So
there are survivors waiting for a signal from the settler. They are cold and hungry, yet willing to work, should the colony take care of them in return. They can be invited in right away or later, in case the settlement needs more time to prepare.
So we're gonna still do the preparation. We can actually build a couple of buildings at the start. Like we have 2 tents which can be placed down without actually having to be built manually by our people. So I'm gonna put down those 2 tents. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at stockpile. So this thing will be responsible for gathering wood. Now you have these wooden like scrap yards, almost like if you think Frostpunk, for example, there are these like old piles of wood. You have these wooden ruins. You have 1 wood, 2 wood, 3 wood. Eventually you will unfortunately have to abandon the stockpile because you will not be able to gather these resources from the surrounding area. You will actually have to start making a lumber camp, a forest hut, and all these things which are going to be able to replenish your trees and your wood, because it's one of the most important resources which you can have access to. And we have the food storage. Food storage can be fun, and there are a variety of things which can be stored around. It will store all sorts of things. Now you can see that we cannot really build something that would be able to contain all of these things. Even if we would try to expand the field at or the range at which this operates. So okay, we're gonna do the stockpile. I'm just gonna try to, we cannot do the road yet because we don't have the people here. And then we have multiple sources of how to obtain water. Now, this is, for example, the water well. It will show you only when you have the construction menu, where you can build it. And based on where you place it, it will show you the efficiency based on how fertile the soil is or how dry it is. I'm not really sure if there are elements such as rain or stuff like that, because I don't have that much experience with the game as of yet, which would actually affect, like for example, that this soil can get more fertile or stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and build the first well. I would love to build it here, but honestly with 56% efficiency is just really bad. So I'd rather place it somewhere around here because it will put our water production at 12. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And we have even water collector. So this is a structure which you need to build to a body of water such as this one, where a person will be responsible for coming in and actually gathering the water. However, I don't know if this can poison the people. I haven't seen like that they were poisoned by actually this. They were more poisoned by either coming in contact with these pollution points or just being out and about and having these basic tents which do not exactly provide the best protection from radiation and such. And so we're gonna do the stockpile here. And we're gonna see if that's gonna allow us to, hold on, let's build it like this. And we're gonna do the food storage. I would love to build it like here. Let's do that. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna unpause the game. It's gonna construct everything, and you can actually change the area of effect. So we can actually control it, and we can expand this place so it can contain all these things. So we have like lots of wood which now can be gathered from one point, and you can then of course change the area which is being controlled. We can do the same thing of course with even our food point or food storage gathering, whatever you want to call it, point. We have 65 berries, 66 berries, so there's that. We're gonna have to bring in the people.
There are survivors waiting.
So let's shoot the flare. That's gonna bring in our people. They are gonna pop in and they're gonna start appearing, and we're gonna need a couple of additional structures. So as you can see, we have now only 90 wood.
Your first colonists have arrived. Prompted by the signal flare, the rest of the group arrives at the prepared campsite. Despite all the hardship ahead, it's time to rebuild and turn this hostile place into a home.
So now
we've reached a milestone.
We have the first settlers. We're gonna be careful about this pollution spot, and we're gonna have to make sure that our people are gonna have houses, because right now 2, 4, 5 people still require housing. Each tent is only able to currently have 3 occupants at maximum. So this means that we are only able to house 6 people out of 11. Usually, based on my experience, you start off with 11 people. It takes quite a long time to actually get them to do the nasty stuff and keep growing that way. So in comparison to other games, it's actually not by you just cramming in house after house and letting them do whatever they do after 10 p.m. and you know, you just increase the population. It usually tends to work better with the gate here being fixed up. So we're gonna see what can be done regarding that. We're gonna have access to some food, but right now we are actually just consuming the food which we have brought over. So we need to make sure that the food will actually ramp up its production, because we have meat-based nutrition, we have plant-based nutrition, and then we have other varieties combined together. We have 90 pieces. So we're gonna have to make sure that we have a larger variety than just the berries themselves. And one thing which I want to focus on when it comes to right now stuff will be where do we have it? Recycler. So this thing will be responsible for plastic. We're gonna require quite a lot of plastic, to be honest. So 2020, we can still do that. Okay, so let's turn that around. We're gonna build this like this. We're gonna put down some basic roads so that we have at least some sort of infrastructure. The road is gonna make it much easier for us to actually start moving people around to their workplace or to their homes at a faster pace. And it actually does not look like in the other game which I covered here on the channel. The name keeps escaping me. Where like the tools decay super fast. I mean, we're still gonna have to eventually build tools. We're still gonna have to make clothes. We're still gonna have to do quite a lot of stuff. But in the meantime, we're gonna try to make sure that we have access to everything else that we do require. Recycler is my next focus. Unfortunately, I cannot put it over here because it would block away the access to the food storage. And due to the piles of wood which are scattered all over here, I will not even try to do so. So once these two houses are actually constructed, we should be able to house all 11 people, because we will have housing capacity for 12. So what is the next thing which we should therefore try to focus on? Medical tent should be a good idea, because quite often there will be some issue with people having some injury, and we're gonna also need to do something regarding the well. So the well doesn't seem to be constructed as of yet. We're gonna try to build the road so it goes to the water well. If you put too many of them together, you are actually reducing the proficiency of each well. So try to spread them out evenly, and that way you're gonna eventually be able to keep providing more and more water for your colony. You can even see the fields in which they are crossing their regions of affected area. So if I can put it like here, I will have like 100% efficiency. It's just quite far away. I'm not really sure if that would affect stuff, but if I would actually build the well here, we would get our water production into the surplus. So I'm gonna try it, and we're gonna see how that's gonna work out. I'm gonna speed up the game for now, and we're gonna need the damn recycler because we have only 15 pieces of plastic, and we actually do require the recycler because they turn this raw plastic trash into the plastic resource that we do use for construction and production and all the other mambo jumbo. So I'm gonna pull the structure like so. Wait, did I build it correctly or did I build it incorrectly? We're gonna try this one more time. Yeah, let's put it like here. I'm not sure if I will be able to squeeze in one more tent. I can theoretically, or I can theoretically put in like clean water storage so that we can eventually have access to that. We're gonna have to actually assign workers to work here. And once these surface deposits are depleted, actually there will be like an underground deposit. I'm quite sure we're gonna require some sort of tech in order to be able to tap into that sort of resource. Everything we do own is currently stored over here, so tools, clothes, and medicine and everything else. We do have a doctor assigned here. We can see what is the durability of their tools and everything. We're gonna assign 2 people over here, and we're gonna move the area which they do work with so that we actually do have access to these 2 spots. They will clear them out one at a time. I'm actually gonna take Raj And if possible, I would love it if you can actually start salvaging some of this stuff. We do have the +1 production of water currently, but I need to make sure that we have all the basic stuff set up, because otherwise you will see your people start dying left and right. And because you have only like 11 people, from which 7 are adults, 4 are children, it's gonna be important for you to keep them alive before you can, for example, fix up the gate and bring in more colonists, because it's just gonna make it that much more tougher for you to survive if you do not have at least the basic population. Okay, next thing which we're gonna have to do and focus on are the outhouses. Now, negative thing is that they create pollution, such as this one, but we require a specialized structure or environmental station in order to dispose of the pollution. When it comes to the pollution created by the outhouses, it can be actually cleaned up, so there's that benefit, but we do not have the plastic, which is why I was hoping Raj would be willing to help us out here. But it looks like he is just unwilling to do so. So I'm hoping we can try to focus our attention on something else. How much does it cost? Yeah, the funniest thing is actually trying to build the gate. You can see it costs 190 wood, 175 plastic. So we would be able to do it when it comes to wood. We definitely cannot afford it when it comes to plastic. So that's unfortunate. We are still able to produce the surplus of... We still don't have the water well even finished up. So we really need to make sure that this gets built before we can actually try to consider doing anything else. We are getting to the end of the first day slowly. There are large chunks of pollution. I'm trying to look for like a large body of water, which I would love as a potential source of drinkable water. We have a message here.
Suddenly, muffled cries for help start echoing from one of the shelters. Inside, a large hole has opened up in the ground, swallowing the poor colonist.
The shelter was apparently built on top of a small sinkhole. A makeshift ladder should help get the colonists out without injury. So we can sacrifice resources, and this will give us positive or negative thing based on what we decide to do. I'm gonna sacrifice the wood in order to help them out, and it's gonna increase our happiness by 20 points. It's a huge help, and hopefully it's gonna actually help us out a bit. We have depleted one of the deposits, which I'm perfectly okay with because it's just wood for now. You actually do not have like workers specifically set up for these structures, so there's that. Yes. If you want to help out with like the scavenging or salvaging, you can of course do so. I don't know if we can actually send out people already without having the gate fixed. Yeah, you need to actually build the gate first, so we would need to save up quite a lot of plastic here in order to do so. Yes. I just don't know if it's gonna actually allow me to send Raj to work here, or if I would need to put Avery away so that Raj can, for example... Yeah, it's not gonna work. So let's put Avery back onto the duty of getting the plastic. And we're gonna need to do the outhouses. Now, it's better for you to do the outhouses a bit further away, because once it starts to be full of pollution and you need to clean it, it might negatively affect the surrounding structures. So I do not suggest you to build them somewhere close. And also, if you want to think that, yeah, I'm just gonna put the crapper close to a pollution point, because what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, the structure can actually become damaged, and it's just then a waste of your resources. We're gonna put down 2 outhouses over here in the woods, so that nobody can hear their screams when they go number 1 or number 2. Actually, I'm not really sure, but it almost looked like these outhouses also look like a shower or something. I'm not sure what's the water tank there. Is it there for cleaning your hands, or what's like the purpose of it? Also, one thing which I do enjoy is the fact that you don't need to necessarily have a person carry the water from point A to point B, but it's good to have these things. One more thing which I would love to do, we will not be able to squeeze in more of these, so that's unfortunate. But I want to build the clean water storage so that we can have more than just 300 units of it, in case we would grow our population or something would happen and we would lose access to water for a certain amount of time. Okay, so scavenging, wooden ruins, 108 out of 189, that works for me. The 2 outhouses are done and they are already being used. They are further away from the pollution, so hopefully the health of the structures is gonna remain strong.
Someone seems to have been stealing wood from the storage. A few colonists go to investigate, and after a bit of detective work, return with a group of rowdy children, one under each arm.
We can leave the fort alone, or we can tear the fort down. I mean, we do have 217. Let's just leave the fort down, and that's gonna give us 20 happiness. Now, for example, this is a new event for me, and we have a first injury, so it's actually good that we have the medical tent standing, otherwise that would be awkward. The person would just keep walking around being either irradiated or injured before you actually construct the medical tent. They cannot get cured, so you need to have this up and running. But anyhow, for example, the sinkhole, that's like the first event ever. I keep running into it constantly. I have not experienced anything else to be the first event, although I keep playing the game at this 70% difficulty setting. So if you play it on a harder setting or an easier setting, your experience might be different. I'm trying to make it challenging enough so that I can learn the actual in-game mechanics and learn how the game works. Now we have water storage 365 out of 800. We have the surplus of 13 points. I can actually build the water collector over here. It's just gonna be total hassle to get it done, because if I would have to construct the road to get it here, it would be kind of catastrophical. So I don't really want to do that as of yet. We have 43 pieces of plastic, and you can see we have fairly limited options. Like, for example, we cannot even do the forester before we build the gate. We can do lodging camp, which would be able to produce firewood. Firewood will be required apparently for some other season or something like this. There can be cold. I have not lived long enough to experience it, so right now we don't use firewood to like filter water or like charcoal, for example. We have lumberyard, which actually chops down these massive tree trunks and turns them into the raw resource, and so there are options. I really want to build the gate so that we have access to more things. We can take a look at the statistics. For example, we have like 3 days that we have survived. We have 0 deaths. We have survived so far 0 catastrophe, no groups visited. Average health is 99%. We have certain other stats. We have stats. Sorry, not stats. We have the people, what they do, what's the status. You can see how much irradiation there is. You can see the resources. You can see the buildings. You can see other graphs, and then you have the science, and this is something which I still don't understand how it works. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna have to send Satoshi here on the world in order to go to the museum where we can get 500 science points, so that we can start gathering science points and I can start running the damn research. It's gonna be interesting for me to figure this whole shtick out. So this once is collected, you need to keep an eye out on it. And I have to stop zooming out because once it's gone, the people that would normally gather the wood for you are just gonna stop. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and build the gate. Now, if we want to expand the reach of our settlement, we can actually build a watchtower, for example, over here, which would give us more space to theoretically colonize. Although this comes with risks, because, for example, some of these pollution spots do come with some sort of danger. Like, I have seen one which is like massive, and for example, there were these large creatures which were buried beneath the ground. I'm not sure if I was even supposed to see them, but I was able to click on them, and it looked like some sort of creepy crawly from Fallout series. So that's why I said this is not so realistic as the other game. They do follow some of these like unrealistic settings where mutation from radiation does weird stuff.
Looking more than a little nervous. She says that she might be able to provide some clothing for the colony.
Okay, so we can give her some fiber, and theoretically it can work, it cannot. It's a gamble. I gave her the fiber, it did not work out this time. What the hell is that? That's a pollution spot. It just popped in. Something happened with this weird stuff. I did not do that before. We're gonna have to manually select the structure in order to be fixed. Still have 11 people only. We're gonna go with the damn gate construction. It's gonna eat up our entire reserve of just about anything and everything. We still don't have even enough resources to get this thing up and running. It's gonna take a while for people to carry everything here, but thanks to the road, most of this is actually carried rather fast, so I'm not that worried. We're gonna have to move, however, the work area here, because everything has been cleared out, and we can theoretically do it. I try to avoid these hotspots of pollution, so if I can send it like this, so that they do not interact with it that closely, I do prefer to do so. So I'm gonna put it over here. It's gonna give us access to 72, 84, and 197 points of wood, which is actually quite decent. What would I appreciate if you would do, because all plant-based nutrition is now just the berries. All our meat is being basically consumed. I would like to build a trapper's lodge, so it's better for you to build this stuff actually closer to the woods or to the forests. Actually provides you with more food, more animals might be roaming around. You can of course move around the area at which you want this to be allocated. We can even put the structure like so here. I'm not going to be able to fit in that many things. Maybe some decorations might be able to be crammed in. We have 0 efficiency here. We have 100 efficiency percent here. But like I said, I can move that production space around. So if I just... It's not going to let me do this? Yeah, okay, so the medical tent is the problem. I would have to actually put it over here so that it would work. So theoretically, I can do it like this. And we're just gonna then eventually move the area away. This thing still requires plastic. We are unfortunately completely out. There's 225 left here, 408 here. Unfortunately, Raj is just refusing to do this manually, which sucks, but it'll have to do for now. Food-wise, we are holding steady, but our consumption rate is quite aggressive. So I might actually be forced to send out him to start gathering these berries to help ourselves out. The 2 outhouses, you can see that they are contaminated slightly. You can eventually decontaminate them once they are too full of people feces and such. So you can actually work with that. Just a scratch, I'm fine. Something happened here. There is an injury. We do have the medical tent.
Not everybody is equally skilled in the art of building, but one of the colonists seems extraordinarily bad at it.
Well, I would love to improve your tent. Unfortunately, I do not have the plastic, so I have to leave it be. And that's a problem because it starts a fire. So, if you don't have the resources, it can suck. And it's especially important for you to try and not build like a couple of things simultaneously, because what can happen is, especially at the start of the game, like I tried to put down like 5 blueprints and I realized that holy crap, all the wood, all the plastic has been spread out and nothing has been finished. So I wasn't even able to establish the colony properly, and it just was horrible, and I had to start all over again. I had to go through the whole stuff such as setting up catastrophes and everything else, so it was kind of annoying. Okay, we're gonna add in one more person, and we're gonna move the work area over here so that it has the efficiency of 100%. This should help us gain the meat-based nutrition so that we don't have just vegans living here. Because can you imagine surviving asteroids and then just having to listen to everyone who introduces themselves by saying, hey, I'm a vegan because we don't have any meat. So we're gonna try to address that. We're gonna keep this over here. I don't really need to expand this too much. I'm not sure if it would do even anything, and it's not even letting me to expand this workable area. So hopefully we're going to be able to start gathering the meat. We already have some meat-based nutrition, so that's looking all great. We do have still 2 more carriers, so that's one of the reasons why I do want to have the gate constructed. One reason is one person is going to be assigned probably to guard the gate, and we're going to send out our 2 people to start gathering either science points or the resources.
You've rebuilt the gate and gained access to the world map. The gate is now open, and the vast world stands ready for your specialists to explore. This progress has not gone unnoticed, though. Soon, your colony will begin attracting various folks. Some good, others desperate, some tricksters, and those who just want to see you destroyed.
So arm the gate with colonists or keep some specialists close by to defend yourself from inevitable raids. So yes, there are raiders, but right now what I would like to do is actually send out Raj. He is still gathering the resources, and just because we have constructed the gate, we have now, for example, access to like a large green bush. We have access to the Forester's Lodge. We don't have any or that much plastic as of yet, and we can...
Ragged bunch shuffles slowly towards the gate.
So we can get a bunch of people, including a specialist who is another scientist, so not the worst thing. She has nice research bonus, she has some recovery, she has some damage, so really nice. We would get 7 adults, 4 children. I'm gonna accept them. Main reason, we do need more people, and because we need now more mouths to feed, of course just gathering these damn berries is not gonna cut it. So we're gonna need to actually establish the fishing lodge, and we can theoretically also consider the water collector, because there is this large body of water. I'm just gonna need to think of how to build it around this shoreline so that we do not have the pollution points destroying the structures. This is why it's actually better for you to get the randomized seed for a map where these are 2 bodies of water, because you have access to points where you can gather water, points where you can gather fish. This helps you tremendously. So what we're gonna do now is, with our limited resources and space, I'm gonna try to make it so that we can squeeze in these things. 89% is actually awesome. Here would be 100%, but I'm not feeling it about the damn pollution point. So I'm gonna put it here, but I don't know what's it gonna do. And we're gonna put down the fishing pier. A fishing pier and the fishing pier. What is it? 90, 100. If we put it like this, it would work at 100%. So now we can actually put down the road so that it's a shorter walk for our people. And if they walk like this, it's gonna actually work out. So I can unpause. This is automatically constructed because it was one of those initial buildings. We still have a surplus of food of 4, but that can dramatically change. We can see all these people are actually moving over here to either gather resources or do God knows what. So we're gonna need to build additional houses in order to accommodate these newcomers. This is why I also want to go and send out one of our specialized people to be able to go out and scavenge and scout out these resources and bring us all these cool things, because we are gonna simply require them. Please stop going around the damn pollution points. Please stop it. I said please stop it. I don't know how much clearer do I have to be. And here we have the catastrophe. So what will happen over a period of time is, I actually thought these are satellites, not meteorites. So they are apparently meteorites, but apparently they have a pinpoint accuracy at your infrastructure. They're gonna every goddamn time hit your buildings and just make a whole bunch of mess. So not really thrilled about it. We're gonna take a look at the structure integrity and see what can be done here. We're gonna try to accommodate the newcomers. We have to decontaminate this structure. We're gonna have to probably put down more outhouses too. And you can even have like a disease outbreak. So it's gonna be important for us to have even another medical tent. And we can still only have 2 people work here with the whole plastic shtick. So we really need to get this up and running. Water is solid. Food, we are still producing surplus. We do have berries and such, so there's that. And we do have some achievements. So there are things which we will need to reach or do eventually. We do have some prestige, but I don't really care about that right now. What I do care about is sending Satoshi to the world map, and we're gonna send also Raj to the world map so we can start scavenging those structures which are out there. We're gonna take this road. We do have 1 person assigned. They do have some weapon, some sort of crossbow or something. I would love it if we can get 2 people there, but right now it's more important to survive. So Satoshi is gonna go over here, and he's gonna start doing the whole science stuff. And then we're gonna send Raj to the farm, and he's going to start scavenging here. So since Satoshi is a scientist, he's gonna have this bonus of obtaining these science points. But this will, of course, take time. So we're gonna have to focus on expansion of the colony still and make sure that it grows. Still require plastic over here. I'm not really sure if building another recycling hut would actually help me increase the overall output, but eventually once the housing is done, I do need to start focusing on how to gather wood differently. We do have Kate, who is able to actually help us out with the whole foraging and everything, but yeah, currently we are kind of locked at certain limits. And the reason why I want to start getting the population or the science points is that there is housing, and you can upscale the tents. So these provide better accommodation and reduces the happiness penalty that you get from the basic tents. So that is why I would love to actually do that right now. We do have a couple of structures that do require the plastic. We're gonna speed up the game a bit more. We still have people who are homeless, so 7 people. 3 tents should be able to resolve our issue. production of food is a-okay. I'm gonna put 2 people to be responsible for fishing. We have 1 person responsible for our water. We have 800 water. I want to increase that even further. So let's put that over here. And I was thinking we can do some pink flower bushes to be placed over here for some decoration, or white flower bushes, because we cannot really squeeze in that many more things. So at least something to help with the overall aesthetic of our established colony, if we can call it that. We're gonna put down 2 people over here. That is gonna help us put more food into our bellies. So we're gonna have meat, 2 varieties. We're gonna have fish. We're gonna have whatever this steak is from the rats and raccoons and whatever it is that they are able to catch. I'm not currently hunting the deer. The deer tend to be kind of assholes because they really love it to go behind these pollution points. I don't understand why, don't ask me. It's just something draws them. I have even had one of these attempts where I tried to play the game, and I swear to God, there were like 10 points of pollution, and they were like blocking access towards the deer, so I wasn't really able to do anything about it or provide more help for them. I would love it if we can do another medical tent, but I cannot do it here unless we get rid of this goddamn pollution point. And I was thinking if it would be possible to maybe put down another one of these recycling tents over here for now, so that we can gather more of these goddamn resources at a bit faster pace, because this is literally killing me. If we could have 4 people assigned, that would be awesome, to just processing of the plastic, because that seems to be running low. Now concrete, we actually can get some resources. Okay, so we have science points. There are like structures which you can run into, and they do contain concrete and such. But okay, for example, I want to find whatever it is that we have here, or assign something, but for some reason I cannot really do so. So I'm not sure. Building and upgrade. So does that mean you are already researching something? Because I have 250 points and I'm just simply unable to do anything. Elgato, please don't do that while I'm recording. It's hard to pay attention to the capture card. I'm gonna probably have to research this goddamn thing first, and then I'm gonna have to make my way towards the other stuff. It's gonna take us 10 hours, and we're gonna have access to like small fields or the survival skill. The survival skill would be awesome because the production speed would go up for like our fishing huts or our hunters lodges. I really would love it though if we can actually focus and do some of this other research. Like water pipes right now, I don't really bother with that. Would love it if I can do this. Would love it if I can do some other stuff like medical training, or increase how many people can work in our medical tents. So there's quite a lot of stuff that can be done. So we are at least doing first research, so I'm getting further than I got before, so that's already a progress. They seem to be working well. We do have some tools, we do have some clothes. 2 colonists are injured and only 1 can be cured at a time. Okay, so what happened here? Resources 500 science points, time spent 24 hours. Currency found 0, damage received 0. Okay, so we can actually return back home. And Raj has 17 resources. He found 112 of the in-game currency. And he spent 24 hours there. But we're gonna actually send him over to the camping area. Don't ask me how to get access to another location. Haven't gotten that far yet. I try to play at least the game so that I can survive for the basic couple of first moments. And we're gonna see how this is gonna evolve, of course. So how is our research going? Is this... Okay, so we are like halfway there. People are hungry, but we do have fish, we do have berries. I don't actually see the venison is over here, so we somehow do have access to the venison. So it seems like they are able to hunt the deer, even though I actually see the deer just here and not here in the woods. But I'm not gonna complain about it, of course. We have to decontaminate some of these structures. I don't know why there are... Oh, actually, they are not off-center. Okay, so that's fine. Is this constructed? Yep, it is. So we're gonna be able to have 4 people now gathering the plastic simultaneously.
We've made a new discovery.
But we have only 3 people as carriers. Okay, so we have access to this. And now I do wonder if we can do the goddamn... Why do I have to always start with this goddamn thing? Crowded tent, crowded emergency shelter. Yeah, we need to first do this research in order to gain access to the other ones. That's just sucky. Guardians, that would be awesome. We can do guard posts to protect ourselves from whatever may come. Production speed plus 25. We can do even the small field. Building upgrade, ice fishing, so theoretically we are able to do this even during the winter. Don't ask me how long does it take to get there. I don't know, unfortunately. Maintenance depot would be nice because then I don't have to do manually the clicking of the fixing of God knows what. I really do want to go with the housing, but having decentralized repairs would be awesome too. We do have 400 more points, so I have to think about how do I do this. This will require 75, this will require 75, this is 125. This is 100, this is 100, this is 100. So I'm thinking we're gonna go with the centralized repair. And after that, we can go with the upgrades for our housing. So let's research this. With the 2 scientists, I'm not really sure how fast it's gonna work. But hopefully it's gonna work. So we are gathering the plastic, we are gathering the wood. We have 22 people, 11 workers, 0 elders as of now, 14 adults, 8 children. So far it's okay. We do have the water point, we do have the fishery here. Gathering these 2 things. There is the berries that can be eventually gathered. Because these 2 have still not been depleted by some miracle. This is gonna be important for me to like decide how to do this, because we need to go through this basic research first. So this sucks because yeah, we need to spend the science points on other stuff which I don't see that necessary right at the start, but we will need to burn through the tech tree. So it will be eventually probably important for us to reach out to these other places and see what else can be there. I mean, this looks fancy. There seems lots of remains of buildings. This seems a bit more devastated by the meteorites. So probably this spot or this spot would be nice for us to look at next. But I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. Once these berries have been cleared out, we're gonna have to move our gathering zone to this spot. So we have 3 berry bushes here that are gonna be available, still producing more. So that's awesome.
We've made a new discovery.
Okay, we have now access to another structure. Lumberjacks work slots +1. So this will give us access to having 3 people potentially working in one structure. That's awesome, but I think what I wanted to do is do the bunk beds. So let's do that, and we're gonna go with the upscale tents so that we reduce the unhappiness penalty, because that seems to be a big no-no, because poor shelter is currently affecting the comfort and how happy everyone is. So if we can spend those science points which we have obtained on improving the overall
There's
mood,
a new quest available.
that would be awesome. What is this?
There are not many factions out there who are capable of using vehicle convoys to transport anything valuable across the wasteland. But those who are capable usually make sure that the convoys are well guarded and change their routes frequently.
So one of these convoys was spotted not too far away, and for some reason this time they seem to be taking the same road as before. This could be a chance to get ahead of them and see if fortune favors the bold. We can search for the convoy, of course, but usually these things are like kind of out of our reach. So you can see it's actually outside of our controlled zone. So I'm not really sure how that would affect the whole thing. So we can go here. I can select Raj. He's doing not that many things. We can send him onto the world map. Still have Kate here to do the protection in case some weird creepy crawlies would decide to attack. So Raj, are you able to...
Negative.
Yeah, it's not really letting me to go there. Can you scout out there for this for me? We're gonna see if something new is gonna be accessible here. Maybe for science, maybe for currency, maybe for resources. So far I'm so happy that I'm not responsible for creating the tools or the clothes, because the other game which I tried to cover here on the channel was so annoying with the constant bottlenecks. It's annoying. So we have pandemic. The first signs of a pandemic are upon us. At first it's just a cough, but then the fever picks up. People start dropping like flies and the colony grinds to a halt. Now it's a question of how quickly you react. Several staffed medical facilities can nullify it almost completely, but if left unchecked it spreads like wildfire. Pandemics come in waves, infecting colonists. Untreated colonists will eventually die. The disease dehydrates the body, increasing colony water consumption. Build enough medical facilities to threat the infected. Gather antibiotics to speed up the healing process. So this is why I actually wanted to have another medical tent. And I'm gonna probably have to build it too. So that's awesome. So I'm gonna have to actually build the damn thing. I'm gonna build it... Probably, man, where can I build it? Well, the plastic trash is still here, so that's blocking our whole potential to do just about anything. So let's just put it over here so that they are close to one another. We do have all the necessary resources, and they are stored over here in the stockpile, so hopefully it's gonna be a fast construction process. We still have 3 carriers, so one more person is gonna be eligible to become a new healer. Pandemic contagion predicted. Okay, so that's awesome. How are we looking here?
All cleaned up.
So we have 14 clothes, 45 this. Okay, so you're gonna return back home and bring us all those things which you have found.
Shoot.
It doesn't look like you have brought over anything. Or maybe I'm just confused with how this whole thing works yet. Okay, so let's put it over
We've made
here.
a new discovery.
So we have access to these 3 slots, so we can keep on gathering stuff. And because we're gonna have the pandemic, currently we are producing 16 points of water of a surplus, but if people are gonna get sick, suddenly it's gonna drop dramatically. I don't know if these white flower bushes are actually working here, because this is completely infertile soil, but I don't have the space to put in anything else, so we are stuck with what we are stuck with. I kind of don't want to block off this, so we're just gonna build this like so. You are still scouting out this zone, okay. I would love it if Kate can go and do some world scouting. we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So, Kate, are you able to scout out some of these zones? Biome, plains, biome, wasteland. We can try to do this with the convoy.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. Awesome.
Can't complete the order.
And now you don't have any of the stamina which is required to do this stuff, so that's great. So it's gonna have to wait. Scientists are ready for action. Okay, we need to do another research. So let's reduce the penalty. We have 200 more points, so this is gonna leave us with 125 points. So theoretically, eventually we can go for the basic farming, so it's gonna actually come out to a good number. That is if my math is correct. Usually it's absolutely not. So, yeah, it's gonna work out. Awesome. Awesome. Able to count until 100. Maybe. Depends from the season and how many hours of sleep did I put in. So yeah, you can start seeing that we are starting to run into this sort of problem with me being able to gather whatever it is that we need. I don't like it that they would have to keep going through the point with the pollution. So not the best. Okay, what do we have here?
Recently arrived survivor has been plagued by nightmares.
He says he's been having dreams of a ghost town that he passed by to get here. All of the inhabitants had perished, and he took a few heirlooms with him as a souvenir. Now, however, he's convinced he's haunted by these artifacts and asks a small party to be sent out to return the memorabilia back to the town. He insists the spirits can only be calmed this way. There are dark circles around his eyes, and he looks to be on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion. Take a pragmatic approach, appease the restless spirits. There's no time for this. Okay, so let's try to appease the restless spirits. Oh, okay, we're gonna actually get stuff for that. So, okay. Question is if we actually need to do this over here. Okay, so what do you have, buddy? Okay, so it looks like there are actually bandits on this place, and it looks like this place is highly hazardous to be researched, but there are decaying houses. I would probably love it if Raj can do the scavenging, because honestly, Satoshi, not the best guy to do the job. Right. So I'm gonna try to send him out to do the scouting.
Yes.
Can you scout out this zone now? Okay, so it looks like she is able to start doing that. I mean, the animation did kick in, so that's what I'm gonna go with.
Yes.
Raj, you, my dear friend, can you be sent out? Why does Avery don't want to die? I don't know.
Yes.
But I do want to send him over here to gather the candy bars. What the hell is this? It looks like there's some weird thing going on. Please don't tell me that when I send out all 3 of my people with guns, we're gonna get some weird infestation of God knows what biblical proportions. Pandemic contagion is spreading. I don't see it. We do have some iodine pills. Iodine is more versus the radiation. We do have one medicine. We do have some antibiotics. But if it's gonna be able to do something here, it's a big if. Okay. We reached some milestone. I'm getting some sort of weird notifications. I really don't know what the hell is going on, but it's just weird. So there's that. Research. Okay, so this is now done, and I want to go with the basic farming, please. So we can start putting down some farmable land and gather another variety of food, because right now I don't even have fish for some reason. I don't know, don't ask me. Warehouse stores only stuff which is unrelated to food. And we do have the stockpile already. I don't know what's the maximum which we can hold. We have fiber, we have plastic, we have wood. You're able to keep gathering the venison, so I'll take that. People are happy, people are sick. If people don't get treated, they can actually die. And then you have to do this burial pit, which also creates pollution based on how many bodies there are. So, I already talked about this. Eventually, once the surface of the plastic is, cleared out, you have, like, the underground plastic burial site. So, think about, like, a surface waste site, and they just bury the trash with soil. So that's theoretically what we can think of this place. It has 7,520 plastic inside. It has richness of 46%. Not really sure how to process that information, but the issue is for that we actually do require a plastic extractor. So we would have to actually do resources, and we would have to go with holy fudge, how far is that thing? Oh my god, industrial mining all the way over here. So that's gonna take for eternity for us to get to. God damn it. Okay, so that sucks. So what do we have here?
The weather in the aftermath is unpredictable, but these clouds seem to have appeared out of nowhere. Dark droplets hissing on every surface they strike start pouring down.
Acid rain. Everyone take cover. The colonists shout and huddle under something protective. Someone quickly points out to the water well's faucet has been left open, meaning the water inside might get contaminated. Create makeshift armor. We can sacrifice some clothing and create the armor. So let's do that. And that's gonna give us more happiness, apparently. So poor shelter is still a bit of a issue. We can start, however, upgrading the tents into the better quality ones. We do have the resources, so I'm willing to do that. But we're gonna have to do this at a certain pace, so let's start with a couple of structures. And hopefully that's gonna help us out, and hopefully it's gonna help to reduce the unhappiness and help boost the happiness. But unfortunately, during the acid rain or whatever is going on, it's kind of unsafe to do this whole thing. And we are now losing, actually, water. I don't know if it's due to the sickness, but it's definitely something which I should keep an eye out for. Theoretically, I can do a water well over here. This would give us plus 10 points of water. I don't see me gaining more efficiency anywhere here. Probably the best one was where I got the 11 points of 87%. Where was it? Yeah, over... If we build the well like so, it's gonna give us even more water. Once the tents are done, we should see an improvement. I'm not sure if it's gonna also increase the occupancy. It seems it actually can. We still have only a certain amount of people available to us. We do have only iodine pills. We don't have antibiotics, so I'm not really sure if we're gonna be able to cure the symptoms of whatever the hell is going on currently. Okay, so you have scouted out this zone. So what do we have? We have, again, the king houses. We have the wasteland convoy, and we have hangar, which has science points. I would love it if you would actually be able to go there. But she does not have the stamina to do so. Satoshi keeps scouting this. No, okay, so he started just with that, and he's gathering the candy. Okay, So that's gonna take a while for us to do. So we need to return back here. And we need to keep on doing this. I actually have to say I'm enjoying this a whole lot more. And I'm trying to be as objective as it is. But this is a bit more fun for me. In comparison to the Endzone or Endworld or whatever else it was. There it was actually not an asteroid which did the decimation. Apparently some terrorist decided to blow up a nuclear power plant. I'm just not sure if that's exactly how it works. And we have colony under attack. And this is what I'm talking about. So rat beetles. So you can see these oversized things, big voracious insects. This is why I think this is more along the lines of like Fallout, where you have these giant mosquitoes or bloat flies or all these other nonsense, which would obviously not happen because radiation works in a weird way. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I can tell you right now, it's more likely actually the animals and humans would die from the mutation caused by radiation, as it breaks down the molecular structure of the cells themselves or causes them to grow rapidly and therefore create cancer. So it does not turn you into a Superman or something like that. It just would probably kill you in a quite horrible way. And this is why it's good for you to have these guys here when these sorts of attacks happen, because I can theoretically lose people here due to some freaking cockroaches. We have an injury on our hand. I would actually appreciate it if we can get some support here. I cannot control these colonists, so I just hope more of these weird bugs are not gonna follow in. Yeah, this bug is actually following the colonists. So we now have an infection, we have injuries, we have all these issues and more of these bugs. However, the funniest thing is, if you actually manage to kill these bugs, they actually can drop cockroach meat. So you can see it gives you cockroaches. And that's another source of protein which you can have here. So really hate the fact that I do not have anyone currently here as a specialist. It would help quite a lot. Can you reach this place? So Wasteland Convoy. Convoy, several trucks has stopped to the side of an old highway. Black smoke pummels out from the engine compartment of the lead vehicle. This is most likely the reason for their behavior during this run. There are only 3 armed guards and few more trucks driver arguing about something. Attack the convoy, repair the vehicle for free, repair the vehicle for a price. She is a scientist, not an engineer. Not sure if it's gonna work. Let's try to repair the vehicle for free. Maybe it's gonna help us out. So Wasteland Convoy. The specialist greets the convoy from a safe distance, and unsurprisingly the guards pull out their weapons against this newfound threat. After some explaining and convincing to aid with the repairs, the guards calm down a bit. A few sweaty moments later, the vehicle comes back to life and guards start to look less alarmed than before. The drivers pull up parts of their hull as sign of gratitude before taking off. So we get actually medication and some other stuff. I'm not even sure what the hell this is.
Complete.
So that's awesome.
Sorry,
we're gonna
can't
have
do
to return her back home. These two still seem to be working. How is the beetle infestation? Are we still under attack? Yeah, it seems that we are. We can recruit a specialist. So theoretically, we would have to spend money. Orca, that's a horrible name. I mean, it's a beautiful animal, but it's a horrible name for a person. Although, Jesus Christ, I have seen names when I worked for Amazon, which you would not believe. It like looked like the people named their kids things which they would want or something. It was just ridiculous. ridiculous. So I cannot really judge. Have them wait by the gate. I don't know. 700 is quite pricey, and she is a scout. Okay. So she might be able to scout out the regions. I'm gonna decline for now. We're gonna have to wait 4 days until we can try and recruit another one. And if we would have people here... Okay, so we have one, but at what cost, right? You can actually move the area of effect over here, and you can see that it will show you that, yeah, you can actually gather these suckers for food. So I'm gonna actually move the area over here, and it's gonna give us the roaches as additional source of meat, because right now we are only gathering certain stuff. We are still producing surplus. Work area here, yeah, you still have some wood, but we're gonna have to shift towards another process rather soon. The problem is we have only 2 carriers, and we have a bunch of injured people. So poor shelter, slept on the ground. What do you mean slept on the ground? We should be able to accommodate all these people. I mean, we have shelter space for 39 people. Come on. I don't know if I need to upgrade all of these in order to improve the happiness. We're gonna do that for now. That's gonna give us quite a lot of space to accommodate whoever might show up. These things are decontaminated. Oh, come on. We have 2 people here.
These people have clearly been through a lot. They look frail and are likely easy to overpower. But the look on their faces makes it clear they're desperate enough to do anything.
Okay, we won't last for much longer. Can you spare a little food? We're gonna give you food. So I don't want to fight them. We don't have guards, we don't have weapons, we don't have the specialists here who would be able to fight off the enemy intruders. And I can't really afford to start losing people right now. So we're gonna give them... Let's give them plenty of food. And the travelers don't seem to believe their eyes as the food is carried out to them. Thank you so much. It's not much, but please take this. The woman hands over some silver. The group heads off with heavier pockets and lighter hearts. So we have received at least the in-game currency for being so nice. So we have 55 candy. We have some of this stuff. I don't know how I feel about doing this, so we're gonna make him come back to the colony eventually.
All cleaned up.
Have you managed to scout out this zone? Awesome. So we're gonna send you here for the museum to gather science points. And you, my dear, don't have any stamina, but there are even more science points which can be acquired. So this is gonna be tough. We're gonna need a fighter class probably to deal with these bandits in these areas, but for now we're gonna leave it as is, and we're gonna try to focus on finishing off these structures. So how are we standing? We are producing 27 points of water, which is just awesome. I would love to therefore build another water storage for now. I don't have the science to do anything as of now. We are surpassing our food consumption, but we have only 1 carrier left. So what I can do is a small field, but where in the world would I do that? We can theoretically do it here. It would give us 100%. Yeah, there's a pollution spot over there. 85. I really don't want to build it close to the pollution, so we can theoretically build it here. That would be awesome. So let's build the small farm here. I don't even know what do we need in order to build the field, but I feel like after we have the farm done, we're gonna have access to another type of food, which is great. We have now roaches, we have now berries, we have now venison and fish, but eating just meat is also not great. I know, I'm so hard to please. So there's one wooden pile. Oh, damn it. Let's put it over here. There's 79 wood, there's 72 wood. And then there's that one more spot. Sorry. So that's over here, 77. There's even like, why does it keep selecting the mouse that's standing by it? What the hell? That's so weird. So the berries are still here, still accessible. The plastic is still here. Still have the plastic over here. We are able to build up quite a lot of stuff here. I might have to remove Oscar from the structure so that we have theoretically 2 carriers. And we're gonna have to select crops. So raw vegetable corn. A yield is medium, growth rate is 3, resilience low, filling rate low, plant-based nutrition low, pollution high. Flax. Okay, so we can grow even crops which are then able to be turned into fiber. I'm gonna probably go with potatoes for now. See what's gonna happen. Do have a production limit. We don't have a production limit for the food. Why in the world would we do so? Okay, there seems to be some heavy duty radiation moving in from the north. I'm not really sure what to think about that. Okay, so we have acquired science points. Get there, please send you to do the scavenging even if you are not the most proficient. There is some medicine over here, so theoretically, Raj, if you would be available, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to make it though to that location specifically. So that's a big if.
What's up?
So Kate is also here. Okay, Raj. Are you gonna be able to reach this and bring us the medicine? Because we do have 20 points of medicine thanks to Kate, but I don't know if the medicine is like universal, that it can cure whatever we can run into. Okay, so we have now some science. So we can do planting seed speed is plus 75%. Okay, that's neat. We're gonna have to go all the way back. Lumberjacks, yeah, we're gonna have to do something regarding this. Scrapper is a new structure. Unlocks a scrapper building that allows scavenging for metal scrap from metal deposits and turns them into usable resources. So that would be awesome. We have 230 points, however, only at our disposal right now. Production speed plus 25% would be great. Communal eatery cookhouse. Not enough science points. Damn it! It would help us out greatly, but it would require firewood, and we are not producing firewood as of yet at all. We're gonna have to do something with that. Durability of heavy tarps, education. Education feature generations at school is more important than it has ever been. Educate children gain a permanent educated trait if they go to school long enough. Education makes them more efficient members of society once they start working. School seems like a good investment, honestly. And the Guardians, I think we're gonna go with actually the Guardians just to be on the safe side. 100 and then 125. We can actually squeeze that in, believe it or not. So let's start off with education. And then we're gonna go with the guard post so that we can start working towards upgrading the medical capabilities of our people. Okay, the radiation is still heavy here. I have not received more people in quite a long time. It would be awesome if we can actually do that. I would love it. We have one carrier left. That's really not that great. Fishery is working. Well, it's working. People are hungry, but we now should get access to stuff. Okay, the small field was hit. and the person was on top of the field and somehow is not killed. Don't ask me. I'm just happy it did not happen. Now the question is, what happens if we would put 2 of these zones together? Is that doable? It seems like it's actually a possibility. Okay, so who do we have?
Mission complete.
You have 10 pieces of clothes, you have some currency. Can you scout out? You have access to 2 new regions, so let's see what's over there. Once Raj is done with this, he's gonna return back. So we have the medication, and theoretically Kate could be sent away. We still have 2 more days to go until we can theoretically recruit another person. But yeah, I think the episode has been running for quite a while now. So we're gonna leave it at this point. If you did like it, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more fun content such as this, let me know. I also make sure to check out the links which I will feature in the video's description to the channel in case you're new here and you're surprisingly still watching. I publish fun content like this on a weekly basis. I do all sorts of fun stuff, so go check it out. And I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you all at the next one. So thank you all, and bye-bye for now. Okay, what was it that I wanted? Guards? Yeah, let's do guards. And let's see where we can build a school. Oh, fudge, we actually do require the metal scrap. Damn, that sucks. But it can accommodate 7 kids, and we have 8 kids, so almost all of them would actually be able to be housed there. So that's awesome. So what exactly did you gather for me? Okay, let's go gather this wood then. We're gonna need to do the damn scrapyard thingy. Where was it? Yeah, metal scavenging. We're gonna need to send out someone.
All right.
To the world in order to do the science. But that's gonna be featured on the next episode!
Huh? Not gonna work. Going. Not going to happen.